Hey guys, welcome back to mygunvalues.com here on YouTube, and today's video is going to be a little bit of the best laid plans of mice and men. If you look over my left shoulder on the workbench there, you'll see a Savage 1899B that's all torn down. I acquired it recently, pretty decent price, because the magazine was not, somebody didn't been in monkeying with the magazine and it didn't feed properly. Well, the video I shot of tearing the rifle down, of course, didn't come out. The Savages, when you get them down that far, I don't want to put it all the way back together just to take it down again. So I will shoot the reassembly video, but one of my children borrowed my gunsmith screwdriver set. For those of you who don't know, gunsmith screwdriver sets, the bits are hollow ground, so they're perfectly parallel on each side. So and you can get the exact bit that fits your screw, so you don't screw up your screw head. Well, since I didn't have my screwdriver set, I didn't want to attempt putting that back together. So here we go. Okay, this rifle, for those of you who recognize it, is not going to be a surprise. For those of you that don't, I'm going to keep you in suspense a little while. I'm going to pull the bolt, pull the trigger back, lift up. Actually, you lift up, pull it back, pull the trigger, out comes the bolt. Now you see the interrupted locking lugs, and there's 6 of them. So anybody who's been around guns very long knows this identifies this as a Weatherby Mark V. The Mark V, this particular Mark V came out, let's see here, 1957 was the first year of commercial production. It's called the Mark V because there were 4 other prototypes that didn't meet Weatherby's criteria. So this was the 5th prototype. He liked it, it worked, it did everything he wanted it to do, hence the name Mark V. A little bit on Roy Weatherby. He started in business during World War II in Southern California. He was doing custom gunsmith work, and then in 1940, references vary, somewhere in the mid to late 40s, he went into business for himself, building custom rifles on a variety of different actions. Seiko actions, Fabrique Nationale actions, Schultz and Larson actions, and there were others. Norma, where are they at? In Sweden, I believe. Norma ended up producing the ammunition for him, but he was dealing with all these various manufacturers, and he wanted one rifle that would do it all, or one action that would do it all is more precise. He negotiated with a number of manufacturers, and eventually the very first Weatherby Mark Vs were kind of built by committee in Southern California. There were 3 or 4 firms that built the rifles, or built components of the rifles, and they were all sent to the Weatherby factory for final fit and finish. Didn't work out well. Different suppliers didn't get the parts in time, long back orders, the whole 9 yards. So he found J.P. Sauer & Son in Germany, who was willing to build the whole rifle. That lasted from 1958 to 1970, 70-ish, 71, somewhere in there, when the manufacturer was changed to Howa in Japan. And Howa had it until 1994, when the manufacturer was again moved back to the U.S. So as far as valuation goes, the older German-produced guns, given same condition, will usually bring more than the same gun produced in Japan, or for that matter in the United States. But that's a generalization. As far as fit and finish, the Japanese produced guns are just as nice. This rifle here is a United States manufactured rifle. This is post 94. It's chambered in 240 Weatherby Magnum. Now, I don't have any 240 ammunition for it yet. It's on back order. Should be in shortly. And when I get it, we're going to go through and we're going to mount a scope to it, and we'll do some shooting with this rifle. We've been working on the backstop. For those of you who've seen the other videos, the new rifle backstop is almost done, and we should be able to shoot there after next weekend is my hope. So what I did, to give you an idea, I got out a 340 Weatherby Magnum case. Weatherby, all their proprietary rounds have a belt down here, and the belt is a feature that when we discuss Holland & Holland, either the 300 or the 375 H&H Magnums, we'll discuss the true origin of the belt. But by the 1940s, it was thought any cartridge needing, with a Magnum designation on it, needed the belt for sales. It really didn't do anything other than it showed people it was a powerful round on sight. The other identifying characteristic, if you look at the shoulder here, you'll see it's what's called the Weatherby double radius. It radiuses in, it's not a slope like you see on any other cartridge. It has a turn in, and then it gets to the neck, and then it turns up with the exact mirror image curve. One's in and one's out. And that's what creates that distinctive Weatherby look, so you can spot a Weatherby cartridge casing a mile away. So let's get to this particular rifle. The original Mark Vs for 300 Weatherby, 270 Weatherby, the bigger, they had 9 locking lugs, and you'll see on this one there's 6, but the original had 9. This is a feature found in artillery, on naval ships and big guns. The interrupted thread pattern or locking lug pattern allows them to open and close it without all the resistance. So Weatherby has 9 of these on his bigger actions, but for the 240, the 224, and like 30-06 and 270 cartridges, which are also chambered by Weatherby, you have just the 6 locking lugs. The reason he did it on this rifle, this is the ultra lightweight. This rifle is made just to be light as a feather. 240 caliber, 6mm. Think 243 Winchester, 6mm Remington. It's that diameter bullet, going faster. And one of these days we'll do a video on Roy's philosophy on speed and killing power, but I don't want to turn this video into an hour-long dissertation. So to make this rifle as light as possible, we have the lighter, smaller bolt with the 6 lugs, shaved, a couple ounces. We have a fluted bolt body. Okay, we have, I'm not sure of this, but I believe these are tally aluminum lightweight rings. We have a fluted barrel, and it's a lightweight barrel. If you can see the thickness of the barrel metal down there, it's not terribly thick. And we have a composite lightweight stock with the rollover cheek piece, which is typical Weatherby. This cheek piece, Weatherby tends to use it on all his Mark Vs. If you look in the trigger guard right here, you see this little button, and I'll see if I can do this on camera. This one's a little tough to release. There it goes. That drops out your hinged floor plate. That's how you can drop the cartridges out at the end of the day if you want to, and that's a necessary feature on this rifle because Weatherby doesn't use the 3-position safety. Weatherby uses a two position safety. Red dot's exposed, that's fire, that's safe. Trigger pulls back, but it doesn't release the firing pin. Pull it forward, firing pin releases. Sear trips, there goes the firing pin. So this rifle, if you watch this and try this all day long, and no, I'm not trying to shoot you, I can hold that out there. Now I couldn't do it all day, but I can hold that out there straight like that. I could even, if I had to, shoot this rifle one-handed, although I don't know how accurate it would be, and I'm not recommending it. This rifle checks in at something around, let's see if I can find it. I weighed it and I forgot. Without the scope or ammunition, let me get this thing. Okay. Let me reset it. This rifle weighs 6 pounds 3 ounces on my trigger pull scale without the scope, but that's a pretty lightweight rifle considering, you know, considering what the power that the Weatherby Magnum brings. Trigger pull on this one's not bad. We'll go ahead and measure it a couple times here. When you do this, it's very important that you get the same pull consistently. I always do it 3 times. That was 3 pounds 3.5 ounces. 3 pounds 3.5 ounces. Very rarely do you get them all the same twice, much less 3 times. Yeah, see, and I did something different. That was 3 pounds 4.5 ounces. Let's try it one more time. That was 3.3 ounces. 3 pounds 3 ounces. So you get the idea. This is a really, really consistent trigger. Oh, something else where they saved weight. They hollowed out the bolt knob. Anything to shave, any weight off this at all was done. Another feature of the Mark V I should have shown you is if you look at these locking lugs, they're the same diameter as the body of the bolt. That helps it glide easier. You're not trying to line up something bigger with something smaller. These are all the same diameter, so it glides in and out much easier. Less machining. Push feed action with that, for those of you who've seen the other videos, it strips the cartridge off and the cartridge head spaces in on the belt. It compresses that little plunger you see right there. And when you pull it out, that little plunger flips the cartridge case out. As it comes back, it flips it out. So that's the Weatherby Mark V action. Just a short little tutorial video on the Mark V as it relates to this particular model. Traditional guys, and I tend to be traditional, don't like synthetic stocks, but I'll tell you what, when you're out beating through the brush, you know, and you want a rifle that's not, you know, the stock can take a whack and it's not going to drop $300 in value because of one ding. This rifle right here is, you know, a rifle like this is the way to go. So again, I've got some ammunition on order, and when that comes in, we will get this thing set up and we'll do some shooting. We'll sight it in, we'll mount a scope to it, we'll bore sight it, we'll go through the whole procedure for you. Probably be a several part series. But for now, as always, I want to thank you for watching. We wouldn't be here without you. I would encourage you to check out the mygunvalues.com website And if you have anything you'd like to see or any comments, please post them here. Click the subscribe link if you would, if you like what you see, and we'll keep more videos coming for you. Thanks for watching.